Two words. I'm fine. Two of the most expensive words in the English language. And I don't mean emotionally. I mean biologically, physically, and immunologically. Today we're talking about the hidden health costs of relational dysregulation. The thing that's missing from every wellness conversation I've ever been a part of. And why the most overlooked vital sign in modern medicine is the nervous system quality of your closest relationships. And I want to say this up front. This conversation is not only for people in romantic partnerships. Whether you're partnered, solo, or somewhere in the complicated middle, your relational nervous system is always online. And it is shaping your physical health whether you're paying attention to it or not. This episode might make you a little uncomfortable, and that's good. Discomfort is where the real healing starts. Let's go. Welcome back to The Regulated Life. I'm Erica, and this is the show where we go underneath the surface, past the coping strategies and the symptom management, into the actual nervous system science of why we feel the way we feel and how to change it at the root. Today's episode is part of our theme, the co-regulation ROI. We've been exploring the relationship between connection quality and physical health. And today, I want to go deep on the biology. Here's what we're covering. The actual research on relational stress and immune suppression. The specific physiological toll of the bunker and the seeker patterns. What chronic loneliness does to the body, because that data is just as important as conflict data. And what co-regulation actually does in the body to reverse all of it. This is not a soft conversation. There's real science here. And I want you to walk away with a framework that permanently changes how you think about your health. Let's start with the research. I want to anchor everything today in research because stress is bad is too vague to be useful. We need the mechanism. We need to understand what is actually happening in the body and why. The Gottman Institute has been studying couples for decades in what they literally call the love lab. It's a research facility where they can measure physiological responses during conflict in real time. Heart rate, cortisol, skin conductance, the body's response to the relationship live. Here's the finding that stopped me cold. They studied newlyweds. People in the beginning stages of marriage when connection is theoretically at its strongest, and measured immune function before and after high hostility conflict interactions. The result? Couples who engaged in hostile conflict showed measurably weaker immune function 24 hours later. Not a week later, not after months of chronic fighting, 24 hours after a single hostile argument. And when they followed these couples over years, the ones whose conflict patterns included what Gottman calls the four horsemen, contempt, criticism, defensiveness, and stonewalling, had significantly worse health outcomes over time. More illness, slower recovery, higher inflammatory markers. Now here's the mechanism, and this is the part I need you to really hear. Your nervous system has one job: keep you alive. It constantly scans the environment for signals of safety or danger, a process Dr. Stephen Porges calls neuroception, and it responds accordingly, below the level of conscious thought. When it detects danger, including relational danger, it activates the sympathetic nervous system. Cortisol releases, adrenaline spikes, blood is redirected away from digestive and immune function and toward large muscle groups. Your body is preparing to move. But in a relational conflict, there's nowhere to run. The threat is in the living room. And so the activation doesn't discharge, it stays. Cortisol, sustained at elevated levels, directly suppresses T cell production and natural killer cell activity. Your immune army stands down because your nervous system told it there's a bigger problem to deal with. Now, this research was conducted on couples, but I want to be precise about something. The mechanism is not romantic relationship specific. The nervous system doesn't check your relationship status before it decides whether you're safe. It just asks, am I connected? Am I okay? And when the answer is no, for any reason, in any relational context, the biological cost is the same. Which brings me to a body of research that doesn't get nearly enough airtime in this conversation. Dr. John Cacioppo spent decades at the University of Chicago studying the biology of loneliness. And what he found should be in every wellness conversation happening right now. Perceived social isolation, the felt sense of being disconnected, regardless of how many people are technically in your life, produces measurably high inflammatory markers, suppressed immune function, disrupted sleep architecture, and faster cognitive decline than socially connected counterparts. Let me say that again. Loneliness produces the same biological profile as chronic conflict. Your nervous system experiences the absence of safe connection as a threat just as readily as it experiences the presence of unsafe connection. This means a chronically lonely person and a chronically conflicted person are paying the same health tax, just from different directions. And it means that fixing a bad relationship isn't the only path to immune health. Building genuine connection in whatever form is available to you is equally protective. Cacioppo also found something that I think is particularly important for high-functioning adults. It wasn't the objective number of relationships that mattered. It was the perceived quality of connection. People could be surrounded by colleagues, acquaintances, even family, and still experience the full biological effects of loneliness if those relationships didn't produce genuine nervous system safety. You can be in a full life and still be running on empty. And your body will tell you through inflammation, through fatigue, through the fog that no supplement can clear. Now I want to talk about the specific physiological toll of internalizing all of this, because this is where so many high-functioning adults are quietly suffering. In my work, I talk about two primary stress response patterns, the bunker and the seeker. The bunker goes quiet under stress. They withdraw. They handle it. They say, I'm fine. And they mean it in the sense that they have genuinely convinced themselves that they've managed their emotional response. They've tucked it away. They've moved on. The body didn't get that memo. Here's what's actually happening biologically when a bunker internalizes. The nervous system activated. The threat was detected. But instead of expressing the activation through words, through tears, through movement, the bunker suppresses it. And suppression does not eliminate the physiological stress response. It delays the discharge while keeping the activation running underneath. Dr. James Pennebaker's research on emotional suppression showed that people who chronically inhibit emotional expression have significantly higher long-term health costs. Elevated blood pressure, impaired immune function, and higher rates of chronic disease. The body keeps the score. And for bunkers, the score is kept in the musculoskeletal system, the jaw, the shoulders, the lower back holding years of unexpressed stress in the tissue. In the digestive system, the gut cannot function properly when the vagus nerve is chronically dysregulated. And in the emotional flatness that slowly settles in over time, the inability to fully access joy, creativity, or presence because the suppression system is running too loud. This pattern shows up in romantic relationships. It shows up in friendships. And it shows up profoundly in solo seasons as the person who doesn't reach out when they're struggling because they don't want to be a burden, who tells themselves they're fine with the isolation, who builds a life that looks completely functional from the outside while something essential quietly starves. I'm fine is not a destination, it's a holding pattern, and the body cannot sustain it indefinitely. The seeker is the counterpart, and their physiological experience is completely different and equally costly. The seeker moves toward connection when stressed. They need resolution. They need repair. And when they can't get it, when the bunker retreats, when the connection feels unavailable, when the rupture goes unaddressed, their nervous system reads that gap as danger. In a partnered relationship, this looks like the pursuit-withdrawal cycle. The more the seeker reaches, the more the bunker retreats. The more the bunker retreats, the more the seeker's cortisol climbs. Round and round, both paying the health tax with their bodies. But the seeker's experience in the solo season deserves its own attention because it can be uniquely disorienting. The seeker's nervous system is oriented towards connection. In a solo season, there may not be a clear object for that pursuit. The reaching has nowhere to land. And that can produce a kind of chronic low-grade anxiety that feels confusing because there's no fight happening, no obvious source of distress. Just a restless, scanning nervous system looking for the safe harbor it was built to find. Biologically, this looks like chronically elevated cortisol, impaired prefrontal function, the maddening experience of watching yourself spiral and being unable to stop it, disrupted sleep, and a body that cannot fully rest because the threat detection system won't stand down. The seeker and the bunker often end up in a relationship together because their patterns are complementary in the most painful possible way. But both patterns in any relational context produce the same outcome, a nervous system that never fully comes home, and a body that pays for it. So what does repair actually look like at a physiological level? Co-regulation is a biological process before it's a relational skill, regardless of relationship status. When genuine safe connection occurs in any form, the vagus nerve activates the ventral vagal state. The social engagement system comes online, and in that state, heart rate variability increases, one of the best biomarkers we have for immune and stress resilience. Oxytocin releases, your bonding hormone, and a powerful anti-inflammatory that directly reduces inflammatory cytokines in the bloodstream. Cortisol drops, measurably within minutes of genuine safety contact. Digestion reactivates, sleep quality improves, and T-cell function restores. 5 minutes of genuine co-regulation produces measurable physiological change. For partnered people, that might look like real eye contact after a hard week, a hand on the back, a conversation that actually lands instead of circling. For solo people, it might look like a phone call with someone who truly knows you, a hug that lasts long enough to matter, a therapy session where you feel genuinely seen, a community where your nervous system stops scanning and starts settling. And this is not a consolation prize. This is the foundation for everything. It might look like 5 minutes with a guided audio that walks your own nervous system back towards safety, because self-regulation is the root of co-regulation. You can't reliably regulate with others if you have no capacity to regulate yourself. And building that capacity is the most important wellness investment available to you right now, partnered or not. I want to leave you with a reframe that I think changes everything. Most people treat their health as a solo project. Eat better, sleep more, supplement wisely, move your body, and those things matter. But your nervous system is a relational organ. It was designed from the very first breath you took to regulate in connection, to find its baseline not in isolation but in the presence of someone safe. Which means no amount of individual optimization fully compensates for a nervous system that doesn't feel safe in its closest relationships, or that isn't getting enough genuine connection to sustain its biological need for it. And here's the other side of that, the part I want you to carry with you. Safety is not passive. It's not something that happens to you when circumstances improve or relationships get easier. Safety is something your nervous system can be taught to access through somatic tools, through regulation practices, through the kind of intentional work that interrupts the spiral before it takes another 24 hours of your immune function with it. That work is available to you right now. This week, I'm releasing 4 somatic tools, starting tomorrow, that are the practical, physical foundation of everything we've talked about today. Each one is a direct physiological interrupt that speaks to the body first, because that's where the spiral lives. Each one is a direct physiological interrupt that speaks to the body first, because that's where the spiral lives and that's where it has to be resolved. And if you want the full structured experience, the Stop the Spiral workshop is open now. 60 minutes, $37. Built for every nervous system, regardless of what your relationship life looks like. The link is in the show notes. You've been carrying this longer than you have to. It's time to put some of it down. I'll see you tomorrow.